We were studying the genetic relationship between human population worldwide and came across the fact that Papuans, and to some extent Negrito population from island Southeast Asia, share for the most part the same evolutionary history as all of other non-Africans, but they may contain also some remnants of a chapter that is yet to be described. But let's have a look at the subway plot. Let's divide the picture into two main portions, being the left-hand side Africa and the right-hand side all the continents outside of Africa. From fossil records and genetic evidence, we know that before our story begins, at least two archaic populations called Neanderthals and Denisova were already present outside of Africa. Since we are not entirely sure about their mutual relationships and about where they actually differentiated, for the sake of this story, we represent them as two separate lines. Then, the human line starts to differentiate within Africa, where based on the samples we have available, we can define a number of major splits within the human family. At some point, surely not before 75,000 years, a given group of humans starts splitting from the main human lineage, and eventually from East Africans, to give rise to what is known as the Out of Africa expansion. This expansion, in dark blue, is responsible for the presence of the vast majority of human genomic legacy outside of Africa today, which is represented here by these blue pie charts. However, we do know from previous studies from other research groups, also confirmed by our results, that after leaving Africa, these humans had mixed with Neanderthals, in orange, and the ancestors of modern Papuans also with Denisova, in red. Now, according to our results, we see that this overall scenario, which is in vast agreement with the ones proposed by other research groups, cannot fully account for some genetic peculiarities observed in the Papuan genomes we analyzed. Particularly, we believe that at least one additional human expansion out of Africa took place before the major one just described. These people diverged from the rest of Africans at around 120,000 years ago and colonized part of the non-African continents afterwards. We call them XOA here, since they got almost extinct after the main Out of Africa took place. Today, we see that the genome of modern Papuans is composed by at least 2% of such an expansion, here represented by this small light blue slice.